1,45,000 rupees. Yes, that's how much my last client paid me this month for 1 month of content. And now you might be wondering, hi Astha, what kind of content do you write and what are your skills like that people end up paying you so high while we're just getting paid 20, 30, 40k per month for content writing? Well, I'll talk about the content part in any of my other videos if you would want, but trust me, I'm not the best writer out there. I've literally seen way better writers than me charging half or even 1/4 the amount that I am charging. So what is that makes me charge so high, so premium from my clients that most people are not able to? Well, it is the experience that I provide to my client, and that experience starts way before you actually start working with them. Honestly, the way you are treating them, the way you are talking to them, the documents you share, everything matters so much, and it's not just your skills or the deliverables that you're providing. So in this video, I'm going to tell you what exact 5 documents I use to onboard clients that pay me between 1 to 2.5 lakhs a month. And trust me, this is not going to be a theoretical video. I'm practically going to show you all the documents, and if you stick towards the end, I'm also going to share those with you. So make sure to subscribe to my channel or you would never see me again. Now let's get straight into the video. Okay, so whenever a prospect gets in touch with you, almost always they request you for a proposal, basically a tailored approach of what you do for them and how much you charge for it. Now, this is something that takes a lot of time to create, and there's no guarantee that they would even end up replying to you, forget about getting converted. So at this point in time, when I am dealing with a lot of prospects and clients, I don't send anybody proposals. Rather, I get on discovery or sales call, in most cases sales call with them to help understand exactly if you'd be a fit, and then sell them there on the call and then agree to move forward. But if you are a beginner, you might need a proposal. So if you need a video on proposal, let me know in the comments, or if you want me to create a video around discovery or sales call, I'll do that as well. We would get straight into my process now. So once they agree to it, that they would end up working with me, I send them an invoice. Now an invoice looks like this. I would just show you. So this is what an invoice looks like, and this is actually an official document that just says them that this much is due and you need to make the payment to me. That's it. Now you might end up sending an invoice before or after delivering work, depending on your policy. I do it mostly in advance, or at least 50% amount is in advance. So this is what an invoice looks like. Basically, it has an invoice number, due date, your name, address, billing details, PAN number, then their billing details, and then what exactly you are going to do for them, then the total amount and your bank details. If you are GST registered, you also charge GST, which I also do now, but this is a normal invoice that people who are just getting started can use. So you can actually just make a copy of it and edit it. I'll share the documents with you if you watch it till the end. Okay, so the next thing is a contract, and this is what a contract looks like, at least for me. So this is not a legally vetted contract. For your information, you can use one, but this is a contract that absolutely works for me, because again, everything is written here and then signed. So what it basically includes is all the terms and conditions of your association. It includes your name, that is the service provider's name, as well as the client's name, okay, and the details. Then when it was signed, between whom, what is your role, then what is the payment like, when are they supposed to pay you, what is included, what is not included, and then availability, refund policy, emergency provision, amendment, confidentiality, governing law, etc., etc. So that's it. And this is something that actually helps you stay or play safe, because now if you agree to something on a call but there's no official documentation or written document stating it with a sign, then they might end up denying in the end, right? It can help you get paid, it can help you stay within the scope that you agreed with somebody and not get exploited. So this is a must do for you. Then the third document is a scope of work document. This is something I've introduced only recently, and what it does is basically clarifies what exactly is included in the contract and what is not. Now you can even mention these things in a contract, but I personally prefer to do it here because my scope of work is usually more, it needs to be clarified better. For example, as a blog writer, I need to tell whether the blogs will include images or not, whether it would include keyword research or not, whether I would be doing backlink creation for them or not, whether I'd be uploading content for them or not. So all of these details have to specify clearly. So I keep a separate document for it, and then I clearly mention what exactly I need to deliver to them, how much, like in terms of quantity, and what is not included. This is something I specifically talk about so that there's no confusion at either ends and we work smoothly. And trust me, this works amazing. Now, the fourth document is, it's actually not a document but rather a Google form. So this basically helps me understand what exactly my client is looking for. Now that we know the exact scope of work, I also need to know what kind of content are they actually looking for. So for that, I collect all of these details from them, which is like a very detailed form, and they need to submit it in advance or like at the time of onboarding when we start working together. So I exactly understand how I need to go about working for them. So it includes details like their goals, what exactly they offer in simplest terms, then what is the kind of structure they are looking for, the tone of voice, then some kind of inspiration if they have for me, like references for that, then exact target audience. Like there's so much more here, as you can see, right? So I share with them, ask them to fill it out, they do it, and it helps me get a lot more details than a regular call or just exchanging a word or two. Then this is the final most thing that I share, and trust me, this changes everything because I've not seen anybody do that, at least personally. So this is basically an onboarding kit, and this kit includes 3 different things which I share with them. Firstly, this is like an onboarding email that I share with them, which looks something like this. Hey, I'm thrilled to inform you that your onboarding process as a valued client is now complete. It's a pleasure to welcome you officially as my, like, whatever service provider you're going to work as. I deeply appreciate your trust and look forward to then whatever kind of things you're going to deliver to them to help their company and then flourish. Then I have attached a small welcome kit with 3 key elements in this email to facilitate a smooth and efficient workflow. Here's the brief overview of all the things. Now here is where I attach these 3 things. First is a project tracker. So basically I have a simple Google sheet that helps me track what exact deliverables we are working on. So how much of blog is completed, and then what is the current status, then the published URL, the date, the status, all of those things are included there. If you do want that as well, let me know. Then the second thing is a communication plan. So this basically includes when, how, where we would be communicating, how often we would be doing that, so that there are clear boundaries and we know where exactly to reach out to each other to get quick response, and in case of emergency, how do we exactly go about working. So again, this is something that I share in detail, so you can also create your own communication plan, talk about these things and share it with them for a smoother workflow. Then lastly, it is a content brief, which basically is the same form that I shared, the input form, wherein I expect them to submit this to me in the next 5 to 7 days for me to clearly understand what exactly are they looking out from me and how I can do it best, right? It actually takes some time, but then it saves so much time in the back and forth that we do otherwise if we do not get this form filled. So then I just send them like a welcome kind of email. Basically it continues and then says that I hope the association turns out to be great. In case you've got something more to share, let me know and feel free to reach out to me, etc, etc. And that's where it ends. So basically an invoice document, then a contract, then a scope of work document, then a client intake or input form, and lastly an onboarding kit that I share with them. So guys, how was it? Crazy, right? I mean, these little things is what adds on to how they perceive you, what value they have for you, and how much they end up paying you. So make sure to use all these documents, and if you need the access to it, just comment docs and I'll send you the entire list of documents that I just showed you in the video. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.